Good, how are you?
Good. You can hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Dave, I'm getting a little bit of feedback there. Some repetition, echo. Do you want me to keep talking?
Yeah. How about that?
A lot of, now I can't hear anything because it's really loud.
Should I look at the screen or the camera?
Yeah, look.
Still can't hear Dave.
I haven't changed anything.
Well, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything, you said.
But how can you hear me saying that if you can't hear anything?
Well, no, I can hear it, but there's a lot of rebuff stuff. That's better. Try that. Yeah, that's good now.
It's better now. Good job.
Yeah. Yep.
Good job.
All right, let us know when we're ready.
Hang on a second. Taylor, are we ready back there? Are they ready?
They can always run it back if you're not. No one has responded.
Shocking.
Dave, it's worse now.
I didn't do anything.
When no one's talking, there's a lot of noise in the background. I can't hear anything.
It's probably the gas golf carts going by.
That's probably what it is then. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll tell them to stop.
Let's do it. All right, that's better. All right. All right, we'd like to welcome our defending champion, Brendon Todd, to the 2020 Bermuda Championship. Obviously, some great memories for you from last year. Just what's it like to be back on site, Brendon, after that momentous victory last year here?
It feels really good. The people here in Bermuda are so wonderful and hospitable and accommodating. And to get to the golf course this morning and go out there and play was a lot of fun, rehashing some old memories, and a golf course that sits up well for me, and I was able to make a few birdies out there, so pretty fun day.
Lots happened since last year's victory. You went on and won the following tournament at Markova, and obviously made it to the FedEx Cup playoffs and to the finals and to the finale, finished 20th. What's this last year been like for you compared to the previous 4 or 5 before that?
Well, obviously a big change, but just an awesome year, and one I think that hopefully is a step in the right direction, obviously, and one that maybe I can repeat again this year, even the next year, and you have a lot of years like that where I'm a consistent contender out here and making a lot of tour championships.
You've started the season pretty well, Brendon. I mean, how would you rate it? Nothing spectacular, but really solid at the Open and the CJ Cup and the Zozo. How would you rate the start so far in those 3 events?
Well, the finishes haven't been great, but my game and form has felt good, especially on the greens. I feel like I'm putting maybe as consistently as I've ever putted. Really good from close range, great speed from long range. Still pretty consistent off the tee. And for me, I haven't chipped very well, so I think that's led to a few more bogeys and it's dropped me out of contention a little bit each week. So just tighten up a little bit around the greens and into the greens, and I'll do pretty well.
Is there something from the tournament last year, the inaugural Bermuda Championship, that really stands out to you that you remember the most about, not probably the prize giving or anything like that, but just something during the tournament that really stands out to you, jumps out to you, that you remember the most?
Geez, I think that front 9 I played the last day is something that's just, emblazoned in my mind, of just great execution, hitting it close a lot, and obviously making those 7 birdies in a row on holes 2 through 8. Just, it's a really special run. It's not something that happens every day or even every year. So, the front 9, I felt like I was kind of walking on clouds, and that's a really special feeling to have, and to kind of feel like you had the tournament in hand going into the back 9 was pretty cool. So I felt like Don, my caddy, and I were really able to enjoy the back 9.
Okay, we've got a couple of people on the line. I'm going to ask on their behalf because we're having some issues with microphones, but I have Adam shoot back from Golf Week. He's got this question: while a lot of golf fans' attention is already shifting to the Masters, explain why this week is a huge opportunity for you and those others in the field.
Well, I think we're really fortunate. The Bermuda Championship this year has 500 FedEx Cup points to the winner, a 2-year exemption like always, and that's a lot to play for out here. The 500 points and the win can catapult you up the FedEx Cup list, give you a really good chance to make the Tour Championship, and also some job security out here. So a lot of guys in the field that have played maybe like I had previous to winning here, where you didn't have the job security. So that's the biggest thing for us every year is, how do you keep your card? How do you, maybe have a win, get a little 2 or 3 year bump, and have a long career out here. So we're all playing for that big win carrot. And then, for me, coming back to a place where I feel like I have good form and a golf course that suits me can build more confidence heading into the Masters and potentially give me another chance to win a tournament and shoot up the FedEx Cup list. So lots to play for here in Bermuda, and again next week in Houston for a lot of guys. And that's what's so cool about this tour is that each and every week, we have a lot to play for, and it's going to change somebody's career probably every week.
Yeah, well said. If I told you that this was your 200th PGA Tour start, how would you react to that? Would you be surprised, or would you be like, I feel like I'm playing more?
No, not surprised. I mean, obviously I kind of know where I'm at most of the time. And, I think with golf, it's one of those games because it's cyclical and your confidence kind of can go up and down a little bit. Sometimes you don't always feel like a guy maybe who's played 200 times, from a confidence standpoint. But, for me right now, I feel probably even more of a veteran than that out here just because I've had so many years of competing in professional golf. Now it's probably my 13th or 14th season playing pro golf, and I feel like the tour is getting much younger. I feel like one of the older guys out here now, and I feel like all those years of experience and now the good form is giving me reason to be confident and consistent and contend every week.
Yeah, I'll ask you just one more from Adam Shoot back at Golf Week before we take a couple of Kim Price. Adam says, if I had told you a year ago at this time before Bermuda that you would be the highest ranked player in the field, what would your response have been?
I probably would have laughed and said, I'll take it. Give me more, right? Again, like I said, there's probably going to be somebody this week who finishes first or second who is a great player and has shown great form either in the last year or in a previous year that changes, the curve of their career and is going to make the Tour Championship. I guarantee somebody from this field makes the Tour Championship and goes on, to be a consistent player out here. And that's what's so cool about, some of these events that don't have the top-ranked guys in them.
Right. Okay, we'll take a couple of Kevin Price. Go ahead, Kevin.
Can't hear him.
Hey, Kev, you got to turn your mic on, bro. Hey, Kev, we can't hear you, so just type it in there and I'll ask on your behalf. Sorry, Brendan, we're having a few issues with microphones here for some reason. Yeah, I was going to ask you, I mentioned the 200 star, and when you won here, it was your 100th start since winning for the first time on tour. Are you a believer in symmetry like that with round figures, or is it just superstitious or coincidence, or what are your thoughts on that?
I really like symmetry. I've always been sort of an organized type of mind, so I do think that's pretty cool. However, I don't necessarily think the world revolves around it, and I don't generally expect good things to happen on symmetrical terms.
Fair answer. Kevin Price is asking, thinking about last year since the win, what are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of going to the next event and winning again, and just continuing to show good form, and that this wasn't just 1 week of good golf. This was actually the state of my game in the 4 miscuts I had. It just required a little extra putting and just kind of things coming together. So, I became a really consistent good player over the course of 2019, and it culminated in 3 great weeks to finish the season. And now I think in 2020 I've shown more of that form, and I'm kind of anxious to get another chance to win a tournament and just not just prove to myself, but prove to the world and that I can do it again, and that I can be a consistent winner out here.
Yeah, Kevin also said Harry Hicks was a runner-up last year to you, and you played with him on Sunday. He's been in contention a little bit, been in the news lately. What impresses you about him, about Harry?
Well, everybody kind of points to his laid-back attitude, but when it comes down to it, the guy's really confident and he's very solid throughout his bag. He drives it long and straight. He's a good iron player, and what impressed me that day was how good of a putter he was. you know, he putted really well on that front nine to shoot, you know, 3 or 4 under. He had one bad shot on the par 5-7 that kind of cost him. I think he made double there, and that shot him in the foot for the tournament. You know, if he doesn't double 7, he makes a 4 like normal. You know, we probably would have had a shootout coming down the stretch. So I haven't been surprised to see him continue to progress and get in contention. I do think he'll be a winner out here on the PGA Tour, and you know, he's got a good game.
You won by 4 strokes last year with a score of 24 under. Do you feel like that sort of score is going to be required to win again, or I guess it depends on the weather?
I still think, yeah, something in the 20s, something in the low to mid teens might be leading through 2 rounds because we're going to have good weather the first 2 days. You know, this golf course is gettable. It's got me and my caddy were kind of laughing at how many times I had like a 50-degree or a sandwich into par 4s, which suits my game really good. I'm good at those clubs, and that's just going to yield a lot of birdies from this field. And yeah, so I think the scores are going to be pretty low. It's going to be windy Friday, maybe a little rainy on the weekend, but I don't think that's going to hold anybody back.
Just finally, I think you're the only player from Zozo that played last week at Zozo that's here. Obviously, you're defending, and it's pretty for you to be here. But do you feel any sort of fatigue? Are you feeling healthy, fresh, ready to go, or do you feel?
Well, I definitely was a little fatigued today. You know, I flew from LA to Atlanta on Monday, and then I flew from Atlanta to here yesterday. So I kind of had 2 days of travel. So a little bit tired today, but I think you know, one more good night's sleep, and I'll be fresh and ready to go tomorrow, just like a normal week. I'm fortunate probably to have an early, late tee time, so I'll be able to you know, kind of recover in between every round. The only thing holding me back is probably I fractured my left big toe the Tuesday before the CJ Cup, and you know, so that threw me off that first round at CJ where I shot 77. But I bounced back and, you know, played some good golf after that week. And if it wasn't for a silly triple the second.
How did you do that?
Yeah, I was in the gym at my country club on Tuesday before CJ, and just had a weight slip off the rack. 45-pounder landed on my toe, and so I fractured it. It hurt really bad, and so I was kind of 50-50 if I was going to go to CJ Cup, but I went sort of as I wanted to play Shadow Creek. I wanted to get going. I'd taken 3 weeks off. I could walk without pain. I just hadn't really played any rounds yet, so I kind of had to work my way through it during the week, and by the end of the week I felt like I was, you know, hitting it pretty normal. I felt like I played pretty solid last week. Maybe the only thing holding me, I might be losing a couple yards off the tee or something, but for the most part everything feels pretty good.
Okay, well, we hope the toe's recovered and you're ready for a good defense of your title. Thanks for your time, Brendon. We really appreciate it. Good luck this week.
You got it. Thanks.
Thanks.